And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup from my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people. And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick. Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Can you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know. Retweet. That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take a position. You're not like some.
But the real problem is that our leaders are dumb. So dumb.
As far as my relationships with all people, I think I have great relationships with all people. I am the least racist person in this room.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree. Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter,
They were chanting, "Pigs in a blanket," talking about police. Pigs, pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon.
There was no response. They didn't have one for that. No, it's very sad. Very sad. I'll kiss every guy, man and woman, man and woman. Look at that guy, how handsome he is. I'll kiss him.
Created Pokemon Go, but I try to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order.
Hello, users, and welcome to another episodic installation of the programmatic program known as the Above It All program, the show where I am part of I do the show every morning. And this is hello. Welcome to the Above It All program. I am here once again to do a program. I've programmed today's program, and so we're gonna be popping in. I am still on my first cup of coffee. That is to say, I took one sip during the introductory sequence. And so please bear with me. Please bear with me. I'm cold. I'm tired. And I'm alone. Anyway, so got a show going on today. Today is June 13th. Just in case anyone needed that reminder, June 13th today. So if you got any birthdays that you forgot about, June 13th, folks. All right. It's a Monday. Monday for today. And that's in case you forgot to call in sick for your day job. Go ahead and get that done with now. It's Monday. 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 Today. I guess there's hearings for the January 6th. I guess I could stream them and I would make money doing so. But it's like, it really just like hurts my brain. When's the next 8 o'clock p.m. one? What is this day 2 shit, by the way? Like, day 2 of the hearings? Hasn't the January 6th committee existed for like 6 months? Like, You know, like, what does that mean? It's day 2. Anyway, I don't know. I don't like covering it because it's like almost all the information is stuff I already know. But I don't know, maybe it would be good to bring in new viewers. I don't know. Public hearing, I understand. Okay. I don't know. Like, if I were to do it, I would want to do it on like 1.5x or something. You know what I mean? Like, listening to politicians speak in real-time speed, that's rough stuff. That is rough. That is like a torture simulator. Listening to like fucking... And then Liz Cheney's gonna go... But maybe I'll stream them. Maybe. Someone give me the schedule. Someone DM me the schedule, and I'll think about it, and I'll catch up on day 1 and 2. Like, what the fuck? Anyway. There's a lot to talk about. Alright. So, folks, you may or may not have heard that the stock market is crashing. You may or may not have heard this. And so, let's read. Wall Street stocks open in bear market as sell-off accelerates. Now, this is something that I've been talking about since, I think February is when this really kind of started. Pretty much the entire stock market is getting fucked in the face. And that includes like cryptocurrency, that includes like generally other sorts of, you know, like investment stuff. And of course this is tied up with inflation. Folks, everyone loves inflation. I love inflation. Hashtag. And so, you know, basically the gist is that the economy is crashing. So let's read some more. U.S. stocks slid sharply at the start of trading on Monday, with the benchmark S&P 500 opening in a bear market territory as a sell-off sparked by high inflation and the prospect of aggressive central bank tightening rippled across global financial markets. Wall Street's S&P 500 index fell 2.4%. Now, this is funny to me. 2.4%. Like, that's hell on earth in the stock market. They're like, oh, fuck, 2%. Oh, shit, I wiped my ass with 2%, asshole. Pushing it more than 20% below an all-time high set in January. So, like I said, really starting in February is when the stock market started crashing. And, you know, the thing is, like, everyone loves, like, cheering on the crash of the stock market, but I mean, it really is a low IQ thing to do. Rich people have both sides of the market cornered. When the stock market goes down, when cryptocurrency goes down, rich people make a lot of money. The only people affected by lowered stock prices are poor people. In, you know, people that are maybe investing $500 in the market or whatever. People that have their companies tied to the stock buyback programs and stock markets, and then they have to get laid off. Tesla, for example, is using the crumbling economy as a reason to fire, I think it was 10% of their workforce. So the stock market crumbling, not good. It's actually bad for everybody involved, except for the rich people, because rich people corner the market. When the stocks go down, they buy more. And then they inflate the price and pump them back up and then sell them back to people That's just how it works. That's the name of the game. So whenever the stock market goes down, the only winners are the rich people. Not to mention that, of course, the stock market collapsing also plays into inflation, corporate price gouging, and it's just going to make everything more expensive. The tech-heavy NASDAQ composite dropped 2.9%, taking its losses for the year to roughly 30%. Speculative corners of the market have suffered acutely this year as central banks in the US and Europe begin to raise interest rates and drain liquidity from the financial system. Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency that tends to react to broader market sentiment, traded below $24,000, having tumbled almost 20% since Friday. So, again, my opinion, stock market crashing, not good. Not good. This is basically, it's just going to cause runaway inflation to be even more annoying. And of course, who controls inflation? Corporations. And if corporations are like, oh no, our stock price is going down, what are they going to do? Raise prices. And then they're going to raise prices even more to cover for their losses. And again, every step of the way, rich people are fine. Because rich people will see, oh, the stock market is crumbling. Well, I'm going to, inflation? Oh, fuck. I'm going to increase the prices of everything. And then when the stock market rebounds, guess what happens? They're going to increase their prices even more. And they're going to decide, oh, it's just inflation. So it's not like stock prices and the stock market and inflation, right, is all going to get fixed and then prices are going to go back down. Like, they're going to stay up. They're just going to continue rising, and we're going to continue getting fucked. And so, not good, folks. Not good. There's a lot of reasons for this. You know, a lot of people cite the war in Ukraine with a lot of this. But, I mean, like, this stuff has been kind of like, this has been, the seeds of the stock market crash has been really, 2008, really, when you think about it, we've been in a perpetual meltdown since 2008. And it's just like putting Band-Aids on a gaping wound that needs stitches, right? And then the coronavirus pandemic basically like just created like gushing blood, and then people like put more Band-Aids on, and then now like the limb has sepsis and like your leg is rotting off, and that's what we're dealing with right now. So just throwing that out there, we're fucked, and not in the good dick way. And so, you know, oh well. That said, some non-financial advice. There's a couple of stocks that I like. Particularly, I have some money in some psychedelic research companies. And they have crashed considerably. And that's good for me because some buy orders went in. So, just throwing that out there. I'm waiting for this coffee to kick in. I'm still waiting. Maybe someday. Maybe someday I will be caffeinated. God damn. All right. You know what I love? Mass shootings. I love mass shootings. They're entertaining. Every time I go onto the news, I scroll through news. Oh, this, that. Oh, mass shooting. And it brightens my mood. I get happy when I see mass shootings. Why, you might ask? Is this bitch on drugs? Well, the answer is yes, I'm on drugs. But I'm also being a little facetious. But I am also standing in for the United States of America. I'm the USA. And I love mass shootings. Why do I love them? Because every time there's a mass shooting, the gun lobby and industry makes more money. More guns, more shootings, more people feel less safe, so they buy more guns. Isn't that great? The news media loves mass shootings because every time there's a mass shooting, people are like, oh fuck, there's a mass shooting. They're going to go on TV, and then they're going to get a lot of ad money, and people are going to be like, oh fuck, let me get some mass shooting news. So, the United States, hyper dystopian capitalism that we live in, has created a system that profits every time that there's a mass shooting. The mass shooter probably, most mass shooters get away with it now. Almost all the mass shooting articles I've been reading over the last week have said that the cops just aren't even really bothering. I think it was 5 or 6 mass shootings where the cops just said, "Oh, fuck it, we don't know." Right? So it's the summer of murder, folks. Everyone's killing everybody. And here we've got an article from ABC News. At least 5 dead, 27 injured as wave of weekend mass shootings in U.S. continues. Detroit, Chicago, and Louisville were among the city. Very good job, ABC News. Where the shootings erupted. At least 7 mass shootings occurred across this country since Friday night, making this the 4th consecutive weekend in which U.S. law enforcement officers have responded to multiple incidents involving 4 or more victims shot. Shootings this weekend have left at least 5 people dead and 27 injured in 7 cities, according to the Gun Violence Archive, a site that tracks shootings across the country. The website defines a mass shooting as a single incident involving 4 or more victims. The string of consecutive mass casualty incidents began over the Memorial Day holiday, when at least 17 shootings left a total of 13 dead and 79 injured. Man, these are rookie numbers compared to Memorial Day. Only 27 people shot in a whole weekend. Motherfucker, we had nearly 80 during Memorial Day. What is this, man? The stock market's crashing, cryptocurrency's crashing, and so are our mass shooting numbers. Come on, people. Come on. Can't we do anything right? Can't we do anything right in this fucking country? Everything's crashing. Including Philadelphia, Chicago, Houston, Phoenix, Memphis, and Chattanooga, Tennessee last weekend. At least 11 mass shootings erupted last weekend, at least 11 mass shootings erupted. I love the use of the word erupted multiple times. Leaving a total of 17 dead and 62 injured across the nation. Again, we are fastly crashing. If you were to buy a stock in mass shootings, I don't know, I'm sure some companies are tied to the mass shootings, right? I'm sure some gun companies or whatever. Now's the time to buy. We got to buy the dip on this one. I'm investing all of my money into fucking any company that profits off of mass shootings. Because we are on a slump. I mean, hey, July 4th. Hey, I'm just saying Memorial Day is our local high. July 4th coming up. We're coming up. So buy the dip, folks. Since a May 14 suspected racially motivated... That's ABC News, dude. I can't with this shit. This motherfucker who killed people in Buffalo, New York, literally wrote a manifesto saying that they're a fascist neo-Nazi that wants to destroy all non-white people. They literally targeted a black neighborhood that was multiple hours away from their house. ABC News is I don't know, man. Some people say he was a racist. Not even suspected racist, but suspected racially motivated. I can't with this shit, man. I can't with this shit. Okay. All right. So racially motivated is that. That's just that's already a fucking stupid fucking term. But suspected racially motivated. What the fuck? Who writes this shit? Let's find out. Who wrote this. Bill Hutchinson. What a fucking stupid idiot. What a stupid fucking moron. The guy self-describes as a fascist. Specifically went out and talked about targeting black people in specific. And who knows? The jury's not in. I got a max hair in my throat or something. Oh god, they're just floating around in the atmosphere. Jesus Christ. Anyway, since then, that was a month ago. That was May 14. It's June 13. That was a month ago. In the last month, there's been 63 mass shootings, an average of 2 per day, including the May 24th shooting at Reb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. Adding to the carnage were mass casualty shootings this weekend in New Orleans, Detroit, Louisville, Kentucky, Decatur, Georgia, Antioch, Tennessee, Gary, Indiana, and the third straight weekend in Chicago. Everybody! Isn't this great? This is like, you know, when your favorite band is going on tour, right? And it's like, oh shit, you know, they're gonna go to the city that's like 20 minutes away from me. Now, what's going on tour? Mass shootings! Yay! Everyone book your tickets. Everyone just, every weekend, just go to whatever city is nearest to you and just walk around and hope you find the shooting. Because, I don't know, man, maybe you'll capture some cell phone video and go viral. There's opportunities to be had here, motherfucker. Look at this. Look, again, we're dipping. This is the real stock market crash. This is the real stock market crash. Is fucking gun violence, man. Like, this is, woo! My God. The shootings this weekend came as a bipartisan group of U.S. senators announced Sunday that they have reached an agreement on the framework of... Okay, so hold up. Bipartisan, strike one, you're out. It's going to be garbage. Reached an agreement on the framework of a plan to curb what Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer described as the gun violence epidemic that has plagued our country. Wow, that's great. That's great. Isn't that great? So we have a bipartisan committee of senators that have reached an agreement on a framework of a plan to curb what's fucking, what the fuck? Indiana nightclub shooting leaves 2 dead, 4 injured. A man and a woman were killed and 4 patrons were injured when gunfire erupted. Again with the word erupted. Motherfucking Bill, whatever the fuck your name is. Who's this guy? Bill Hutchinson. This motherfucker. I'm going to control F. Erupted. There's 5 instances of erupted in this article. Bro, like, you're not supposed to use the same word over and over and over again. Okay, erupted, 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 erupted. This motherfucker. Jesus Christ. All right. Man, this motherfucker must have failed high school English class. And I know, because I did fail high school English class. Anyway, the shooting unfolded around 2 a.m. at the Playos nightclub, the Gary Police Department said in a statement. When officers arrived for the nightclub, they found a 34-year-old man near the entrance, unresponsive and suffering from gunshot wounds. So did the guy get away? 4 other people were shot. No arrests were announced. This is the other thing. Again, I've been saying this in every fucking stupid fucking mass shooting. No arrests. None. In Phoenix, no arrests. Philadelphia, no arrests. Tennessee, no arrests. Gary, Indiana, no arrests. These motherfuckers don't know what they're doing. The only time that the suspect in these mass shooters is like stopped in any way is when they kill them fucking selves. That's the only time that they're stopped, is when they kill themselves. Like, Jesus fuck. Alright, New Orleans! Yeah! At least 4 people were injured when a shooting erupted once again with the word erupt. Oh, the shooting unfolded around 4 a.m. at an intersection in the mid-city section of New Orleans. The victims were all taken to the hospitals. No additional information on the shooting. So, no arrests. The shooting unfolded. Victims were taken to the hospitals. No arrest. Isn't that great? Isn't that wonderful? 4 shot, 2 fatally at Tennessee pool party. Isn't that great? Everyone wants, oh, it's summertime. Everyone get naked. Put your fucking swimsuits on. Let's go to the pool. And bring your guns. Because it's fucking the summer of murder. 2 men were killed. And 2 others were wounded. So we have 2 men that were killed. And then also, in addition to the men, others were killed? Like, what are those, like, the non-binaries? Like, what does that mean? Others. Okay, were wounded when gunfire broke out at a pool party in suburban Nashville Saturday night, police said. Shooting occurred roughly 11 miles. Police sources said an exchange of gunfire. Officers Found one victim whose name was not immediately released dead at the scene. According to a victim identified, blah, blah, blah. Purnell said the 2 wounded victims suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Homicide investigators were working Sunday to identify a suspect. Again, 3 for 3 in this article. 3 for 3. The cops have done nothing. They've done nothing. They have found 0 suspects. They don't even know who the fuck did it. Isn't that great? Isn't this fucking great? All right, can we go? Can we go 4 for 4? All right, 5 injured in a Chicago drive-by. Let's go. No whammy. No whammy. All right, let's go. 5 people were injured. 1 critically in a shooting Saturday afternoon on the south side of Chicago, authorities said. The episode unfolded. It was folded up like a napkin, and then we unfolded the episode. I mean, like, Jesus Christ. All right. Blah, blah, blah. Car drove up to the group, and at least 1 occupant opened fire. At least 1 occupant. No arrests have been announced. All right. No whammy. Okay, we're like that motherfucker on Press Your Luck. What's that guy's name? Who, like, found, like, the cheating method? What's that guy's name? Hold up. That's us right now. We're pressing our... Michael Larson. There you go. You know about Michael Larson? Hold up. We're this guy. We're Michael Larson right now. That's us. All right, check this out. There's a little fun story. All right, so Michael Larson was an American television game show contestant who appeared on the CBS program Press Your Luck. Larson is notable for winning $110,000, blah, 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 in cash and prizes, at the time the largest one-day total ever won on a game show. He was able to win by memorizing the patterns used on Press Your Luck game board. So he memorized the patterns, folks. That's us right now. We're channeling the energy of Michael Larson. All right, can we get 5 in a row? 5 in a row, no arrests. Come on, man. I'm ready. I'm ready. All right, no whammy. 5 teenagers shot near Louisville Bridge. 5 teenagers were injured Saturday when a barrage of gunfire was unleashed on a group of people gathered near the Big 4 Bridge in downtown Louisville, Kentucky, according to the Louisville Metro Police Department. The shooting occurred just after 9 p.m. And arriving officers found 3 teenagers suffering from gunshot injuries, including 1 critically wounded. Madge Brian said at a news conference Saturday 2 other teenagers with non-life-threatening injuries were taken to the hospital in a private vehicle. Let's find out. Oh! 5 in a row! 5 in a row! No arrests! No arrests! Yo, I swear to God. I swear to God. All right, all right, all right. We're going to Detroit, guys. All right, hold on. Hold on. You might be thinking this segment is taking way too long. We get it already. But, like, all right. Can we go for 6 in a row? 6 in a row. No arrests. Let's go. All right. No whammy. No whammy. All right. Let's go. Now we're in Detroit. At least 4 people were shot Saturday during a bachelor party at a short-term rental house in Detroit. All right. Bachelor party, pool party, people hanging out on the bridge. Let's fucking go. All right. The shooting erupted. Again with the word erupted. Oh my fucking God. Around 12:25 p.m. in the Davison Schoolcraft neighborhood. What the fuck kind of Schoolcraft? All right. On the west side of the city, police said they are searching for a black SUV that witnesses said drove up. So they're searching for a black SUV. That's all they got. That's all they got. No one has been arrested. I lost count. Is this 5 or 6? Is this 5 or 6? Yo, I'm losing it. Again, these motherfuckers were like, don't defund the police. Remember in 2020 when motherfuckers are like, yo, what the fuck the cops do? All they do is kill black people. And then they're, what are you gonna do when there's a shooting and you gotta call 911? Don't defund those police. And then Joe Biden was like, we love the police. 3X, right? He tripled police funding, right? And now, 6 in a row. No whammy. No whammy. All right, Georgia restaurant. I'm ready. All right, can we get 7? Lucky number 7. All right, I'm ready. 1 killed, 3 injured in Georgia restaurant shooting. 48-year-old man was killed, and 3 other men were injured when a shooting broke out in a restaurant in Decatur, Georgia, according to police. Preliminary investigation, blah, blah, blah. Fletcher's Place, DeKalb County Police Department. Oh, this is the one I mentioned the other day. All 4 shooting victims, no arrests have been announced. Woo! 7 for 7. 7 mass shootings in the country over the weekend. 0 arrests have been made. But don't defund the police, bro. Because what are you going to do when Don't defund the police, though, because, you know, we need someone to keep the black people in line. Am I right, people? Am I right? I mean, that's all they're good for. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Anyone, and I mean anyone, who isn't on board with defunding these fucking stupid motherfuckers is a racist. That's it. There's literally the only thing that cops are good at is murdering black people. That's it. Name one other thing. One thing that cops can do besides murder black people. I'll wait. 0 arrests. 0 arrests. 7 for 7. What a country. What a country. 5 dead, 27 injured, 0 arrested. What a world, folks. The summer of murder? Hot dog. Wow, I did not expect 7 for 7, let me tell you. Damn. Like, that wasn't, you know, I didn't read this article beforehand or anything, so. All right. I recommend watching. There's like a documentary on Michael Larson, the Press Your Luck guy. I recommend watching it because it's pretty good. Yeah, I'm not going to any fucking Pride events. I'm telling you that much right now. 1, coronavirus. 2, let's be honest here. Most people pretend coronavirus is over. I don't want to go to Pride and see a bunch of my fellow queers, like, you know, basically wishing death on disabled people by running around without masks on and breathing in people's faces. Let's be honest here. I'm not into that. But 3, I don't want to get fucking shot, bro. Fuck that fucking shit. In fact, let's talk about this. So I want to start this story with a GIF. So here we have a U-Haul truck. And we got some Patriot Front members hanging out in this U-Haul truck. You might be wondering, what's going on? Whoa, what's going on? Why are they getting arrested by the coppers? Well, let's find out. White nationalist group members charged with planning riot. And where were they? At Idaho Pride event. Now again, there are Pride events all across the country, and a lot of right-wingers are being fueled by this groomer bullshit, and harassing people just trying to live their lives. And Idaho, there was a Pride event, and there were a bunch of quote-unquote counter-protesters screaming, "Groomer, groomer, groomer. You're all groomers." And it's like, what? Now again, in Ohio, Republicans, these people, just started passing bills to mandate genital checks for all children because there's 1 or 2 trans kids in the state of Ohio. And so they want to check every kid's genitals because there's 1 or 2 trans kids in the state of Ohio. So, but they're not the groomers. It's the people that have trans kids. They're the groomers, I guess. Again, these motherfuckers are insane. Well, let's read. Police in northwest Idaho arrested more than 24 members of a white nationalist group on Saturday, Patriot Front, and charged them with planning to stage a riot near an LGBTQ Pride event, authorities said. Lee White, now, you'll be very interested to know how this happened. Police chief in the city of Coeur d'Alene told reporters 31 members of Patriot Front face misdemeanor charges of conspiracy to riot, and additional charges could come later. Local residents spotted the men wearing white masks and carrying shields getting into a U-Haul truck and called police, telling the emergency dispatcher it looked like a little army. According to White, police pulled the truck over about 10 minutes after the call. Video taken at the scene of the arrest posted online showed about 20 men kneeling next to the truck with their hands bound, wearing similar khaki pants, blue shirts, white masks, and baseball caps. So I just want to say, before anyone starts praising the cops here, because I know some people love, oh, cops doing something right for once. The cops here, also both sides this, they arrested anti-fascist protesters that were standing in solidarity with people celebrating Pride, as, just a defensive wall in between people that just want to celebrate Pride and neo-Nazis. So the police also arrested people at the Pride event and people protecting the Pride event at the same time. So that you're not going to see that reported in the media. But you might actually, I don't know. But I follow some people on Twitter that were there at the scene. Police recovered at least one smoke grenade and documents that included an operations plan from the truck, as well as shields and shin guards, all of which made their intentions clear. White said they came to riot downtown. The men from at least 11 states, including Texas, Colorado, and Virginia. Do you know where Virginia is? Does anyone know where Virginia is? Virginia is on the border with the Atlantic Ocean, in case anyone needs that lesson. Does anyone know where Idaho is? Idaho is one state away from the Pacific Ocean. Motherfuckers drove literally all the way across the country because they wanted to, attack random queer people in Idaho. What the fuck? Anyway, what's not mentioned in this article also is that, according to police, they had an informant of some kind within Patriot Front, and that's how they got the documents to charge them with a conspiracy to riot. So, reason number 7,453 why I'm not going to a Pride event. I don't want to die. I don't know. Maybe you can say that's letting the terrorists win. But, I don't know, man. I don't like Pride that much anyway, because I'm a little bit of a social recluse. But that's fucking scary. But also, we got this little golden gif out of it. Of, these motherfuckers, they got into the truck. I want you to, like how it started, how it's going, right? They're arming up, and they got into a truck thinking, yeah, we're going to fucking murder some queers, kill them with the groomers, woo! Right? And that's when they closed the U-Haul door, that was they were jammed in, they were ready to go. And then when they opened the door, busted. So, I think that's pretty great. But anyway, fuck them. Fuck Patriot Front. Of course, Patriot Front, the group that split off from other right-wing militias after Charlottesville, because some right-wing militias were like, should we endorse the fact that an anti-fascist protester got run over and killed? Some of them were like, bad for the brand. Patriot Front, that's the group that's like, yeah, we should have killed more. So just so you know where these people are coming from. They're fucking nuts. Fucking psychos here. Jesus Christ. So let's lighten the mood a little bit. Here is a 10-second clip of everyone's favorite mayor getting a reaction that I'm sure he did not anticipate. So Eric Adams is going through the Pride Parade in New York City. And, by the way, again, no cops at Pride. Anyone that wants to tell you the cops are allowed at Pride is a fed. Don't listen to them. But anyway, so he's running through New York City, and he's getting booed, and it's great. And again, this is just something we all need in our lives every once in a while. The world isn't all bad. Let's watch it again. So you have people booing them. Someone threw a fucking water bottle at the fucker. People are just like looking at their phone like they're just bored. Like, who's this fucking cop prick? Isn't that great? Okay. Where's that water bottle? Oh, there it is. There it is. There you go. Oh. That's funny. It sounds like someone saying "we love you" at the end, but I'm just going to assume they're just talking to their partner who's like next to them or something. But anyway, that's funny. Hearing about to begin. Milo with the play-by-play. Live reporter. Missed by a mile. It's the thought that counts. That's going to be the title of my memoirs. The thought that counts. All right. So a couple of days ago, it came to my attention that there was a baby that was crying. A crybaby, if you will, online. Someone that was a crybaby who was crying. And so this was sent to me. Ben Shapiro, a complete betrayal at Fox News. Fox News highlighted the story Friday of a biological girl. Now, can someone tell me what biological means? This is a common, this is a misunderstanding of the English language. A lot of people think biological means something different than a living creature, right? Like, for example, this hand is biological. The grass in my yard is biological. The tree outside of my window is biological, right? So the idea that people are using biological as a modifier for someone's gender, it literally just means that they're alive, right? So like an android, right, who might have a gender, right? Like Android fucking 18 from Dragon Ball, right? That would not be a biological girl because she's an android. Are you tracking here? Biological means alive, okay? So just throwing this out there, but these people, this is the party, again, that doesn't really believe in any sort of scientific study. They don't care about science. They don't care about, for example, they still think that the climate isn't changing, right? So these motherfuckers are dumb as hell. Encouraged her to identify as a boy, whose family encouraged her to identify as a boy as part of It's America Together, blah, blah, blah. So first of all, I'm gonna play the clip here because it's linked on this douchebag. That's the thing. It would have been way better if Ben Shapiro wrote this article and didn't post the segment, right? Because the segment is good and the segment literally disproves whose family encouraged her to identify. This part is just not true. This is just not true. This isn't real. If you watch the segment, but it's a don't believe your lying eyes thing, right? And they know that 90% of people that read this garbage aren't going to watch the segment, right? But they just lie. Again, they don't know what the word biological means, right? They just lie about everything. So anyway, let's watch the segment and then let's read this meltdown.
Walking down the street, you wouldn't think anything different.
14-year-old Ryland Whittington is a typical Southern California teenager. And the Whittingtons, along with mom Hillary, dad Jeff, and sister Brinley, are a typical family. The only difference, though, in Ryland's eyes, is what this family can mean to the tens of thousands of kids under 18 who identify as transgender.
So the thing about this story is, one, it's on Fox News, and two, these are like very conservative Christians. And so this is why this is so devastating for the far-right narrative that want, like the Ben Shapiros and the Michael Knowles and the Matt Walshes, that want to commit a genocide of transgender people. Their goal is genocide. They are modern-day Nazis. That's the goal. If you think that trans people shouldn't exist and you are advocating for legislation that makes them less able to exist, that's called genocide. In the same way that if you make practicing a certain religion illegal and that anyone caught practicing that religion gets killed or gets forcefully converted, what is that called? Does anyone remember? Oh, that was called the Holocaust, right? That's what happened in Germany. So, again, the stated goal of the right wing is genocide. Matt Walsh's new documentary is founded upon the goal of genocide, right? But does being a conservative necessitate advocating for genocide? Personally, I think all conservative ideology advocates for genocide in one way or another. It's just, what are you trying to conserve? But there are people that do identify as Christians, that do identify as conservatives, that don't want to participate in this form of genocide.
We put our story out there so people could see that, like, there's another family out there that is going through what we're going through, or there's another family who's proud of who they are.
Before Ryland could even speak, he managed to tell his parents that he is a boy.
I could just see that it wasn't him trying to be a brat. It was like painful. It was truly painful for him to have to wear feminine clothing and for us constantly telling him that you're a girl.
And unlike some trans kids, when Ryland came out at age 5 a few years later, he had the full support of his parents.
Initially, there was some pushback from us in trying to understand.
So again, I want to, like, real quick play this part again.
He had the full support of his parents.
Initially, there was some pushback from us in trying to understand this.
We were confused like most people are.
So, again, Ben Shapiro, in the opening line, right, says that the family encouraged this child. In the video, if you watch the video linked, you'll see the parents admit to pushing back. They admit, oh, we didn't really get it at first and thought it was stupid. That's not full support. That's not encouraging this person to transition. If you have to beg your parents over and over and over again, and then they finally go, oh, fine. That's not the parents encouraging them to do anything. They just lie. They don't care. They just don't care. Like, that's the thing you need to understand. Right-wingers don't give a fuck about free speech. The only reason they talk about free speech is because they want the freedom to lie about whatever they want. Literally, he links evidence to the contrary of what he is saying. That would be like if Ben Shapiro is like, oh, I'm not patting my head. I don't know what you're talking about. What? I'm not patting my head. I'm not rubbing my tummy. What are you talking about, bro? I'm trying to make a sandwich. Like, what?
He thought that gender and sexuality were the same thing. It took us a while to figure out that those two things are different and that children actually do recognize their gender identity very young. Some of them, not all.
But they listened to Ryland and to Hillary's conservative faith.
For me, it's just a deep spiritual belief that you believe in God and he, created us the way he wanted us. Well, then yes, he created Ryland just the way he is.
And they listened to families. They met in support groups.
There was a father who was sitting across the table. He says, you have no idea how...
So this part of the segment is really incredible.
They met in support groups.
There was a father who was sitting across the table. He says, you have no idea how lucky you are to be here, which kind of took me back. I didn't at that point consider myself lucky to be there. And he said, our child had displayed this gender dysphoria or this gender misalignment at the same age that Ryland has. And we didn't listen, and we pushed back.
That pushback led that child to turn to self-harm as a teenager, which 60% of trans and non-binary kids engage in, according to the Trevor Project. More than 50% consider suicide.
So, this person had a support group is sitting next to another father who is like, yeah, we pushed back on our child and they tried to kill themselves. And again, this is what the right wing wants. This is what conservatism is founded on. Again, it's a genocidal ideology. The people that say, listening to your child ever is grooming, they're genocidal. They literally want any possible avenue for complete and total eradication of a specific kind of person. It's genocide, is what they're advocating for. It's genocide. It's that simple. There is no if, there is no... We just want to kill 90% of the transgender people. It's not genocide if we only kill 90%. This fucking shit is crazy. It's crazy. And they openly engage, like Ben Shapiro, again, to go back to this. Like, he is literally writing an article lying about what's in the video he posts, just making up random new information, just out of thin air, just made it up as a way to promote the advocacy for genocide. This video would be absolute despicable, insane lunacy if I saw it on CNN or MSNBC. I'd be curious to see a segment this good on MSNBC or CNN, to be honest. To see it on Fox News is a complete betrayal of anything remotely resembling conservatism or decency. Ben Shapiro is saying, why didn't these parents let their kid kill themselves or kill the kid for them? That's what Ben Shapiro is like, oh fuck. These parents didn't drive their own child into suicide. Insane. Right, like... And no one, they're never going to be held accountable for this. Ben Shapiro is never, ever going to be held accountable for promoting and advocating for genocide, because that's not the way our society works. They just don't give a fuck. They will literally say, I want to kill minorities. I want to kill minorities. I want to kill minorities. Whoa, why are you accusing me of wanting to kill minorities? That's what conservatism is.
Me was the turning point. I didn't want to see Ryland go through that.
I'd rather have a living son than a dead daughter. And I guarantee that...
I want to play this part again.
I didn't want to see Ryland go through that.
I'd rather have a living son than a dead daughter. And I guarantee that if we had pushed back and done what a lot of parents do, I don't think that we would have either one of the kids that you see before you here today.
Allowing him to...
Again, this is what people like Ben Shapiro advocate for. They want these people to die, and they will do everything in their power to accelerate the mass death of minority groups that they don't like. It's just that simple. And even a dumbass, religiously fundamentalist conservative family can understand that the people in the ideologies that they support and they encourage people to get involved in are like, oh shit, they want me to kill my child, sacrifice my child at the altar of whatever. I don't even know what the fuck they do this. But religious families literally do drive their kids to suicide, kick children out because they're gay or trans, and then they die. Like, I know people that have been kicked out of their families at the age of 14 or 15. Right? Like, this is a very common theme with people that are queer, is they get kicked out of their especially heavily religious families. And then they've got no resources. They've got nobody to help. Oftentimes, they turn to self-harm, suicide, drug addiction, so forth. And this is what the Ben Shapiros of the world want. They want this to happen. They want parents to kill their own children. And isn't that insane? Like, imagine being a parent and being able to be manipulated into killing your own child. And this is why I don't think conservatives should be allowed to have children. This is why I think it would be child abuse to raise a child in a conservative home, because of stuff like this. If you have a child that just happens to be queer, it's pretty much a death sentence a majority of the time. A majority of the time, that's a death sentence. These people are insane. And again, yes, one family in this instance is the exception, and that's great. And I'm happy that this family is embracing their child and not wanting to literally murder their own kid. That's great to me. But this is not the standard in conservative ideology. This is not the standard in religious households at all. This is like an extreme minority of religious households on the right wing. And especially over the last couple of years, right-wingers want to make it impossible for something like this to happen. Now, again, this story, right, this kid is a teenager now, right? So this whole ordeal happened 10 years ago. They don't want another generation of kids to make it. That's what to them, this is a mistake. This is an example of why they want to push for genocide, because they don't want this to happen again. Because there are 5 and 6-year-olds that are going to be coming out as trans. And now families are going to be listening to Ben Shapiro and Donald Trump and Tucker Carlson. And now they're going to be, again, punishing their children and encouraging them to commit suicide now as a result. They don't want this to happen again. Let's keep watching.
To live authentically and true to himself and be who he really feels like he is. When you get to know Rylan, you see just how proud and confident he is of himself.
Rylan's story got international attention in 2014 when a family YouTube video went viral. And Hillary...
Look at that dog. Hold the phone. Look at this dog. Look at this dog.
In 2014.
Oh!
When a family...
Oh, look at that puppy.
YouTube video went viral. And Hillary has since written a book called Raising Ryland.
I never thought that I would be known for this as well as I am, but really it's just a small part of who I am.
He just brushes things off his shoulders like it's fine. He moves on in his life, and he's just kind of, I think everything we've been through, he's just learned to do that, and he's really good at it. I could never do that.
The Whittingtons believe sharing their story could make a lasting difference in another child's life, something they learned from that support group father nearly a decade ago.
I'm just here to make the ride smoother for others. You might be struggling right now, but we believe in you. This family, we might not know you, we might not know where you live, but we understand you and we believe in you.
What extraordinary courage displayed by Ryland, his sister Brinley, father Jeff, and mom Hillary. I want to thank the Whittington family for speaking to us. It's not easy, particularly at a time when transgender issues have been politicized. People are afraid of what they do not understand, Dana. This family hopes their story will lead to more understanding, more acceptance, and ultimately more...
So again, I just want to also be clear that Fox News, I don't give a shit if you accept transgender people. If you still vote for right-wing Republicans, okay, you are still voting for the genocide of transgender people. That's it. If you voted for Trump in 2020 or 2016, you voted for the genocide of transgender people. If you intend to vote for a Republican in 2024, you are intending to vote for the genocide of transgender people. That's just that simple, right? So that needs to be understood. Anyone voting for right-wing Republicans, the party is the party of genocide, and if you vote for that party, because I want lower taxes, you're sacrificing minority populations for money. You're getting paid off to endorse genocide. So I would just be very clear on that. But let's get back to Ben Shapiro's meltdown. Oh shit, live, the Ben Shapiro show. Wait, is he live right now with... Wait, what? Is he live right now with this? Hold on. Oh, I need to be a member. He's doing a show right now, so we're probably going to get some video clips of this soon, all right? Anyway, let's read the stupid fucking article. Every element of this video is propagandistic, dangerous garbage. The report states that this biologically female child... Again, biologically female? That doesn't mean anything. That means female who was alive. And in this case, this is a man. This is a boy. So they're not biologically female because they're a boy and they're alive, therefore they're biologically male. It's that simple. And it's very clear, by the way, that they're on hormone treatment. So just throwing that out there. Was choosing her gender before she could speak. First of all, that's not true. If you watch the video, they say 5 years old. I don't know about Ben Shapiro. I could speak at 5 years old. I think most people watching this video or live stream could speak at 5 years old. So if Ben Shapiro is having problems speaking at the age of 5, that's his own personal problem. But that is not normal. If you are 5 years old and you are having issues speaking, yikes. I mean, like, I don't know, like, you know, I don't want to blame 5-year-olds for being stupid. You know, it's probably their parents that didn't raise them properly. But again, this is just, they're making it up. Like, Ben Shapiro watched a different video, or didn't even watch the video, who even knows? And he's just making shit up. 5 years old is how can someone say, I want to be a boy, if they can't speak? Like, I mean, like, what? Like, but okay. That is madness. The report further states that Ryland's parents began social transition at the age of 5. That is child abuse. The vast majority of children who display signs of gender dysphoria desist over time. That's not even, first of all, that's not true. Citation needed. Second of all, you know what is child abuse? If you have a man, right, raising a boy to, like, not be emotional, and, you know, if you're a man over the age of 20 in this society, you will probably, when's the last time you've cried? I mean, just genuine question. We live in a society that is founded on making boys and men, like, detach themselves from emotions because emotions are for women. And that leads to a lot of, like, weirdo bottling up of emotions. Men don't know how to cry. They don't know how to properly engage in proper emotional responses. They're detached from their own emotions, and it leads to depression and other problems. Now, again, I'm just asking you, if you're a man over the age of 20, when is the last time you've cried? Genuinely, I'm just curious. Feel free to answer in the chat if you're in that demographic. But, like, the idea of, like, raising a child without, like, pushing them, oh, you got, like, it's like the same thing with left-handedness, right? If a child is left-handed and you're forcing them to write with their right hand, that doesn't change the fact that they're left-handed. You're just fucking torturing them. Like, it's that simple. It's just that simple. Like, you trying to force someone to be right-handed doesn't make them right-handed. It just makes them hate you. The report is absolute horrifying propaganda. Now, again, Ben Shapiro apparently is like someone who's wrote books. How come, like, this is like a 3rd grade book level. Like, every paragraph is like 1 to 2 sentences. Like, this is an author? This is a published author writing this? Like, this is like this is like reading like a fucking Cat in the Hat book. Like, just looking at it without reading any of the pages, like just seeing the formatting. Like, am I reading Dr. Seuss? Like, what the fuck? Oh, wait, this one might have 3. No, this is still 2 sentences. I don't like, what? Anyway. We have mom citing her Christian faith to justify the perversion of biological identity. What is biological identity? What does that mean? Biological identity? Like, those don't mean anything. Like what? Like, biological, alive. Identity is like what is this live creature? Like, I just, like, what? We have the radical gender theory activist Trevor Project stats claiming that childhood transition is the only way to prevent suicide. And who are the sources cited, I mean, for that? Transgender people. I can tell you, as a matter of fact, I know a lot of transgender people. I would probably say I've spoken to hundreds, if not thousands, throughout my lifetime. And I can tell you, 100% of the people I've spoken to within the trans community have said if they were unable to transition, they would probably kill themselves, myself included. So when 100% of people in this category are saying something, and then the statistics say 60% of people actually attempt suicide or self-harm rather than just ideation, you have to provide any claim to debunk that. Any. At all. Like one claim to debunk that. But they don't. They don't care. I'd rather have a living son than a dead daughter is, again, propagandistic sloganeering. There's no credible evidence that transition alleviates suicidal ideation among children identified as LGBTQ. I mean, there is. But that's the thing. They just deny reality. Anything to support genocide? There is no credible evidence. Now, again, the word here, the actionable word is credible, because anyone that's trans that is telling you that this is the way things are, they're not credible because they're radical gender ideology, theoretical, radical. So they're not credible. The only people that are credible are the people that also want to engage in genocide. We have got Dad talking about living authentically by hormonally transitioning a biologically female child, a transition that if continued will result in biological sterilization and or breast and genital mutilating surgery. First of all, a lot of people get sterilized or are sterilized in some way via a car accident. Maybe their body parts just don't work properly. Like, what is this, like, big fear about being sterilized? Don't we have enough fucking people on this planet as it is? Like, Jesus goddamn fucking Christ. Not everyone needs to fucking procreate, especially if you're a conservative. And also, don't you want radically left-wing gender ideologues to be sterilized? That way they can't procreate, so they're producing left-wing babies, and you get to make 17 conservative fascist babies. Isn't that ideal? How come that's a bad thing? I don't understand. If you hate trans people and you want trans people to die, well, guess what? If you want trans people to stop passing on their transness or whatever, you know what the easiest way to do that is? To just let them sterilize themselves. Again, but he doesn't actually care. It's incoherent ideology all the time. And genital mutilating surgery. My goddamn brother in Christ, and I know this guy's a Jew, have you heard of circumcision? Have you heard of circumcision? If we're talking about genital mutilating surgery, and we're talking about 0.48% of the population that are trans, and again, trans people don't always get genital mutilating surgery. That's also another subset of the 0.48% of the US population that is transgender. An even smaller percentage of that actually get any sort of surgery. Why? Because it's expensive and most trans people can't afford it, right? And also, a lot of people don't even care for it or want it. Meanwhile, 70% of Americans are circumcised at birth. American people that have penises are circumcised at birth. So, okay, you're telling me 0.1% of the population might get a sex change. That's bad. 70% of people that have cocks get their dicks cut off when they're less than fucking 6 months old, and that's fine? I'm sorry, but what? It makes no sense. They don't actually care about genital mutilation. They don't give a shit. They don't give a fuck. They mutilate their kids' genitals all the time. They do it all the time. It's standard. When you have a child in America, it's standard operating procedure. Hey, you want me to cut this kid's dick off? Free of charge. Free dick cutting, free of charge. Isn't that insane? Seriously, this is insane. But again, it's not about logic. It's not about coherence. It's not about any actual argument that exists. Anything that they can to twist into supporting genocide, that's all that matters. So it's not about genital mutilation. It's not about sterilization. None of that matters. It's about, this person's trans, we want them to die. It's that simple. The family became famous in 2014 when Ryland, now 14, was 6 years old. Mom wrote a book about her own heroism. Okay? And, like, this is not about the children. This is about pushing a gender theory that victimizes small children. Where's the victim? Now, again, if you want to look for any example of someone that was forcefully transitioned as a kid and then genuinely regrets it, talk about that story or cite that story. Like, again, and if that was such a widespread phenomenon, why wouldn't Ben Shapiro link that? Oh, by the way, here's a link that proves that people who got forcefully transitioned as a kid regret it later in life. Easy. Just, you obviously know a lot about this subject, right, Ben? So you've obviously written articles and books about that and phenomenon and have actual testimonials from actual people that actually went through this, right? So link it. Is there a link? No. Shit. And this is happening on Fox News, where the family is praised for its extraordinary courage in the face of politicization of transgender issues. People are afraid of what they do not understand, the reporter says. But we do understand the agenda. We understand that it is propaganda on behalf of the destruction of children. What the fuck is this guy talking about? Again, it's garbage. Fox News is too important to conservatives to be weaponized on behalf of the most radical leftist propaganda imaginable. Just being alive and being trans makes you the most radical leftist propaganda imaginable. I want that fucking shit. I want to print that on a t-shirt. Like, propaganda that aims directly at the mental and physical health of children? Right. Because being an Orthodox Jew, right, and teaching your children that if they do any mistake or if they eat a certain thing, they're going to go to hell for all eternity or whatever the fuck. That doesn't, mental, physical, it doesn't matter. Cutting your child's dick off when they're fucking 7 weeks old, there's no physical health being damaged there at all. The company should terminate whoever is responsible for this agitprop abomination. Jesus Christ. What a fucking loser. And again, all of the claims he makes in this fucking, like, Dr. Seuss, I mean, like, that's an insult to Dr. Seuss. But, like seriously, is there any paragraph that has more than 2 sentences? This is 2 sentences. Okay, this is 3, actually. But we do understand the agenda. We understand that this propaganda on behalf of the destruction of children. And then he starts the 3rd sentence, and it is vile. This is like 2.5 sentences, let's be real. Like, I thought this guy was like a published writer. Like, seriously, man. Or is it like that he knows his audience is so fucking stupid that having more than 3 sentences in a paragraph is like, oh, I can't read. Jesus fucking Christ. We got some dumb fuck motherfuckers on this planet. Yo, the circumcision thing, man. Like, when you really, like, understand, like, there was the Alabama anti-trans bill that accidentally banned circumcision, and they had to amend it and say this does not apply to circumcision. Like, it's just like, yeah, cutting your child's dick off when they're 6 weeks old, it's all good with me. And then, of course, like, there is a large percentage of circumcisions that get botched, and then someone's got a fucked up dick for the rest of their life. So, I don't know, man. Like, doesn't cutting your kid's dick off so that they'll never enjoy sex as actually designed for human beings, doesn't that sound a little bit worse than whatever the fuck these motherfuckers are crying about transgender people? Like, think about this. The average American in this country doesn't actually know what sex feels like because they got their dick cut off when they were a kid, without their consent, without their even knowledge that that's a thing. They got their dick cut off as a kid, and now they'll never feel what sex actually feels like. Isn't that crazy? That's fine, though. That's fine. But someone might consensually want to take a drug that might end up with them getting sterilized. And again, if that's a big problem, you can just, I don't know, jizz in a tube and throw that in the freezer, right? So it's like, Again, but there's no coherence. It's just genocide. That's it. That's all they care about is genocide. We want to murder people for fun because we can. That's the Ben Shapiro ideology. Andrew Kohler, $2. Intersex children are regularly mutilated as well. It's true. We don't know what this thing is, so let's do our best to make it what we want at this moment in time. Also, this fucking shit is so crazy. I don't know, man. The circumcision thing really fucking... I remember getting into arguments with people in my family about circumcision before. And it's I really cannot understand why someone would want to cut their child's dick off. Imagine going through pregnancy for however many months, 8, 9, 10 months, however long it takes for this person in particular, right? And then, the first thing you do is oh, I've got a baby now. Cut their dick off. That seems like a little bit of, a fucked up priority list, right? Your baby comes out, you pop the fucker out. You want to nurture the kid a little bit? You want to make them stop crying? You want to feed them? No. Cut their fucking dick off. Isn't that a little weird? Isn't that a little strange? But I got some really stupid motherfuckers that I know in my family that cut their kids' dicks off. Hey, I'm one of them, right? I wish they would have cut it all off when I was young, but hey, whatever. But this fucking shit, this is people still do this. People are having children right now and cutting their dicks off right now. Because they're fucking crazy psychopaths. They have no critical thinking. They have no freedom of thought. They're sheep. They're zombies. And they're taking out their rage and ignorance on their own children. That's child abuse. If you cut your child's dick off, you should be thrown in jail. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you cut your kid's dick off immediately after they're born, you belong in jail. The doctors doing this fucking shit belong in jail. The parents doing this shit belong in jail because they are dangerous. If you can be brainwashed into wanting to mutilate your child's genitals within 6 months of them being born, you cannot raise a child. You are insane. You are insane. If you are able to be brainwashed into doing something so ridiculous for no reason, you are insane, you are stupid, and you belong in prison. It's that fucking simple. I don't know, man. Religion, there's all kinds of fucked up abuse that happens in religious households and shit. But the idea that people can actually be brainwashed into cutting their children's dicks off, man, religion really fucks these motherfuckers up. It really fucks them up. For real. Fucking hell. And I remember having these arguments with people in my family, and I was viewed as the radical freak. I was viewed, it's with extended family and other people that, and it's I'm viewed as the radical, crazy person. I'm saying, hey, humans, our DNA encodes the foreskin into our body. If God made humans, God made DNA, and that DNA encodes the foreskin. Why are you fucking with God's design? My example that I like to use is, you know what really sucks? Cutting your fingernails. I hate that shit. So how come we don't mandatorily rip our children's fingernail beds out, fuck their cuticles up so they don't have to grow fingernails? Why don't we do that? It'll save them money. They don't have to buy fingernail clippers, toenail clippers. Right? Because it's all about making their life efficient, right? Because that's one of the, oh, it's easier to clean if you don't have a foreskin. Okay, it's easier to wash your hair if you rip out your hair follicles. So why don't you just make it so that your child rip out all their hair follicles, make it so they never grow hair? They save a lot of money on shampoo, right? These motherfuckers are ridiculous. They're fucking stupid. They're stupid motherfuckers. Imagine being brainwashed so easily and so thoroughly that you literally cut your kid's dick off and they're born. I cannot fucking imagine that shit. I cannot imagine that fucking shit. But people do it. I know people that have done it. And I hope they're not watching my show right now because, you know, they might give me a fucking phone call. But Jesus Christ, man. Some stupid fucking idiots. Dumb motherfuckers. Dumb motherfuckers. They're so fucking dumb. They're dumber than fucking dumpster sludge. These fucking pro-circumcision douchebags. This is why I hate religion. Religion is garbage. All of it. Every single little tidbit is fucking garbage. Motherfuckers will be like, I'm a good Christian. I don't want to kill the gays. Meanwhile, they're cutting their kids' dicks off. Like, whoa, brother, I don't know what the fuck you're on. You are on drugs. You have ingested copious amounts of psychoactive substances and not the good kinds. God damn. Holy fuck. Like, I can't. Like, it's like, I hope you're not, like, buying cars. Like, you know, like, this is, like, used car salesman level. Like, oh, you want the expanded cup holder? You want the, you know, the upholstery on your seats? You want a seat warmer? You wanna have like a 6-year warranty plan on your rims, on your tires? You wanna have like an extra ventilation system in, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you wanna cut your kid's dick off? We'll do it for free. We'll throw it in. We'll cut off their fingernails too. We'll rip their hair out. They'll never grow a hair in their life. For free, we'll throw it in. You know, you might have to pay a little bit more on the monthly fee, but it'll be free. Like, what the fuck? It blows my mind. It blows my motherfucking mind, man. Blows my motherfucking mind. And speaking of things that blow my mind. So, I watched a movie yesterday. And I'm trying to watch all of the Christopher Nolan movies because I like his movies. And I checked out Dunkirk. Christopher Nolan movie. Dunkirk. I liked it. It was good. So, okay, I was doing some shrooms as always because when I watch a Nolan movie, I know it's going to be better if I ingest some shrooms. And I'm not going to lie to you. I had no fucking idea what was going on in this movie for like the first hour. No idea at all. Zero idea. I was lost. I was like, okay, so then there's a guy in a plane. And then there's a sinking ship, and then they're on the beach, and then... So anyway, then I realized, it dawned on me the point of the movie is that war has no point. There is no story. There is no plot. That's the point. I get it, okay? So, it's a good movie. Basically, it shows a bunch of people losing in a battle in World War II. English forces, French forces just getting their fucking shit kicked in. And how, like, people just die in the dumbest ways imaginable in war, right? So you got, like, motherfuckers waiting on a dock to get on a ship to go home. And they just get bombed and they die. Yo, there's the one scene in this movie where, like, the ocean was on fire because there's, like, oil in the water. And the ocean's on fire. So motherfuckers are in, like, they're under the water and they can't breathe because, you know, they don't have gills. They're humans. They need oxygen. But, like, what's above them, above the water, is the ocean's on fire. What do you do in that scenario? It's fucked up. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. This movie, watching this on shrooms was a challenge. Because, like, one, I was trying to figure out what the plot was. And, like, before I knew that there was no plot, you know, I was like, okay, so this character's doing this, and then they're there, and then carry the three, and then... There's also... You know, like, the in my opinion, the best part of the movie is when the teenager who, like, really wants to, like, help people in the war, and they're, like, you know, they're, like, 17 or whatever, happy-go-lucky kid, wants to just help people, and him and his family get on a ship to, like, go and, like, you know, get supplies out to the soldiers and, like, you know, help some of them back that are injured or whatever. So they find a pilot who's stranded in the middle of the ocean, and they bring him on the ship, and that pilot's got some severe PTSD, and there's, like, a struggle on the ship, and then eventually this teenager, for no reason, he falls down the stairs, hits his head, and dies. For no reason. A teenager just gets killed for no reason at all. He didn't even make it into the war. He got killed by, like, his own army. They tried to save a soldier, and that soldier freaked out, and then, like... You know, it wasn't on purpose. You know, it's not like he tried to kill the kid. But it's all incidental. Anyway. But, like, damn! Like, what a movie. I like watching this movie before I realized that the point of the movie was that it's, like, really hard to watch. It was really hard to watch. Like, I was like... And then it's got, like, that very typical Christopher Nolan soundtrack where... Like, the music is, like, extremely anxiety-inducing. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. It's very atypical, of course, if you, like, compare it to all of, like, you know, the sci-fi thrillers that Nolan does, of course. But, you know, I liked it. I was into it. If Nolan's going to make a war movie, I think it's pretty good. At the end of the movie, when there's, like, an evacuation, and all the soldiers that got fucked up and almost died and stuff, they're on the train back home, right? Like, some fella... is, like, just congratulating them and saying, like, thanks and all that stuff. Some old guy who's, like, passing out, like, food and saying thank you. And then one of the soldiers is like, all we did is survive. And then the old fella's like, and that's enough. And that's the point of the movie. Like, if I'm in a war zone, I don't give a like, my goal is to get home. That's my goal, right? Like, I don't care what the scenario is. I'm not running out there and killing myself over some stupid shit, right? My goal is to make it home, and that's kind of the point of the movie. Is that, like, there's a bunch, and all the other thing about this movie that I enjoy is that most of the characters are all extremely young. Like, they look like, again, one of the characters that dies is a 17-year-old. They all look like they're fresh, like, young soldiers that were just sent in there just for the sake of being cannon fodder. And so it's like all these young kids are just getting their fucking brains blown out, and it's really violent. There's so much to it. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's a good movie. I'm not usually into war movies, you know, like, it's just not really my thing. I mean, I like war movies if they're, like, fictional, but, like, I don't know. To me, I don't like a lot of war movies because they're usually propagandistic, but this was a good war movie. I endorse it. I really struggled to figure out what was going on, but then I realized that that's the point. I remember, like there's barely any dialogue in this movie for, like, the first, like, 40 minutes. So I remember, now keep in mind, I did shrooms for this. And so I remember, like, thinking that I was in, the first 10 minutes of the movie, and then like I paused the movie to go pee or whatever, and it was like 45 minutes into the movie, and I was like, the movie's halfway over. I was just because there was no plot. There was no plot at all, right? And so I was just like, I was just under the impression that it was gonna get to the plot at some point, and so I was experiencing some significant time dilation. And then I realized, a couple minutes later after resuming the movie, that there is no plot, and the point of the movie is that war sucks, and that the only reason, like the only goal that you should have if you're in a war zone is to survive. That's it. Anyway, good movie. Dunkirk, not as good as the sci-fi movies from Nolan, I would say, but as far as a war movie goes, a World War II movie, if Nolan's going to make one, I'm in. Sign me up. It's a good one. So, there you go. And that's what I watched yesterday. So that's the show, folks. Do some research into the history of why circumcision is done. I've done some research. I don't, what research are you alluding to? Because, I understand it's for some religious bullfuck. When I've spoken with enough psychopaths that circumcise their children, the laundry list of reasons is it's easier to clean. People have said that to me in my family. That was sent to me as a reason. When you're teaching your child how to wash themselves in the bathtub, you're gonna have an easier time if you cut their dick off. Shouldn't you cut their legs off too? If that's the logic, if the logic is optimizing your shower routine, cut their fucking legs off too. You know what? What the fuck? Okay, it's easier to clean. Great. You're a lazy fucking moron. And you're going to make your child a lazy fucking moron and doom them to the suffering of living a life without knowing what sex feels like. Right, so that's one reason that I was given. Because I've argued with family members, because there's people in my family that had a kid over the last couple of years, and there were a lot of arguments about circumcision. But, yeah, so then there's the religious bullfucking shit. I don't even know what the religious angle even means. It's some I don't know that one. I really don't know what the reason is. When I talk to people that are pro circumcision in my family, whenever they would bring up religion, it's oh, this is, everyone in my family does it, God wants it or whatever. And I ask them, what? That's what I ask. What does that mean? God wants that? And then they just never answer. It's just, oh, it's in the Bible. What? Where in the Bible? Oh, I don't know. So it's just fucking weird. It's just fucking weird. This weird ass fucking shit. And then the other reason, which is the dumbest one of all that I've been given, is that, again, it's the everyone in my family, but as a separate from the religious thing. Everyone in my family got circumcised, so what does that mean? Everyone, what? What? I don't know, man. These motherfuckers are crazy. Motherfuckers are insane. We got some crazy motherfuckers on planet Earth. Crazy motherfuckers on planet Earth. Like, people really, like, they take that thing, like, seriously. Like, oh, it's normal, so therefore it's good? Like, that's like a serious, like, that's like the really, like, that's like the dementia that is a part of all of our society and everything. You know, like, when it comes to food habits, like eating meat, oh, it's normal, therefore it's good. Like, breathing in lead from your gasoline, it's normal, therefore it's good. Drinking toxic chemicals in your water, it's normal, therefore. Driving cars instead of, like, using any other form of transport, it's normal, so we gotta stick with it. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I gotta use the bathroom. Thank you all for watching. I do appreciate it. I will see you tomorrow. Cooking with the Bitch on Wednesday. Doom stream Wednesday and Thursday. I'm going to be doing Memento Mori 2. Other things coming to the channel at some point in the next 6 months. Bye-bye.
I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen. $7 million for reef fish management. $25 million to combat Asian carp. $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
Dub is a shit fuck, you know, cringe tour, etc., etc.
They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly, and the cover-up was one of the worst in the history of cover-ups. There's some bad deal, should have never been thought of. Somebody really messed up, and they had the worst cover-up ever. And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint when they thought about it. Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Can you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.